Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity to address this committee regarding the human rights situation of Shia Muslims in Iran today. Shias who do not subscribe to the principle of Velayat al-Faqih, the founding principle of the Islamic Republic, or who engage in religious practices frowned upon by the authorities. These include Sufis or dervishes, specifically of Nematullahi Gonabadi order, which is Iran's largest Sufi order, and followers of traditional Shia Islam, who form the majority of Iranian Shias, those who adhere to the official state religion in Iran, 12er Jafari Shia Islam. One of their most vocal and prominent representatives is Ayatollah Sayyid Hossein Kazemeni Burujerdi, who has been incarcerated in Evin prison since 2006 and who has sent the UNHCR a message today to you, which will be read at the end of this short presentation. Since the inception of the Islamic Republic, fundamental tensions have existed between these two groups of Iranian traditional Shia establishment and its theocratic government. Indeed, today's concept of Islamic government in Iran has little basis within the religious and political traditions of Shiism. This form of Shiism is founded on the concept of the 12 Imams, who were the rightful spiritual and political leaders of the Muslims, following the death of the Prophet Muhammad. It is believed that the 12th or hidden Imam, known as the Mahdi, lives in occultation, but will one day return and resume the leadership of the faithful. Until that moment arrives, traditional Shia, who include Sufis and dervishes, believe that political and religious authority should remain separated. As such, many high-ranking Ayatollahs, religious leaders, and their followers have opposed the fundamental tenets of the present Iranian political system, established following the 1979 revolution. In the last few years, there have been several confrontations between authorities and members of these groups. Followers have been fired from their jobs, and the work permits of their lawyers have been cancelled and during the unfair trials which have been held. Security agents have banned news coverage related to the pressure, and attacks and websites and blogs have repeatedly been blocked. Mr. Burujerdi's treatment is a clear example of these abuses of human rights. He was born in 1st of August 1958 in Burujerdi. He was educated in Islamic jurisprudence under the tutelage of his father and other learned and respected Ayatollahs. Security forces attacked Mr. Burujerdi's house in 2006 and arrested him and hundreds of men and women who had gathered there to prevent his arrest. Mr. Burujerdi stood trial behind closed doors of the Special Court of the Clergy without access to legal representation. In addition to being defrocked, he was sentenced to 2 years imprisonment in Tehran and 10 years exile in prison located in the province of Yazd, hundreds of kilometers away from his family. His house and all of his belongings were confiscated. He has been in prison since and is currently suffering from ill health, including heart disease, kidney disease, and infection. Reports of ill treatment, torture, and denial of access to a significant number of his rights continue to flow out of Iran. His father and mother both died under suspicious circumstances, and his family believes that his life is in danger. Having been denied the right to open and fair trial and having been denied legal representation, Mr. Burujerdi has been subjected to beatings and physical abuse in Ward 209 of Evin prison. He has also been subjected to mental and emotional abuse. Insult and abuse were carried out against his wife, daughters, and oldest son in his presence. A number of his supporters have died under suspicious circumstances. As a consequence of his refusal to recant publicly in a televised program, he has received death threats. He has also been threatened with the distribution of fabricated and insulting films about him and his wife and daughters, in addition to footage of him taken in the news by the authorities on the 16th of August 2004. This was filmed during an earlier period of incarceration. Now, this is the message that he has sent to you from Evin. I'll read it in English, but if you want, there's a Farsi translation as well. To the esteemed President and members of the UN Human Rights Council, From inside the notorious Evin prison, I send to you greetings. As you are well aware, throughout history, the interference of religion in state matters has been instrumental in promoting ideological and religious conflict, the rise of totalitarian regimes, as well as injustice and inhuman punishment. The unpopular regime in Iran has no respect or belief in freedom of thought, expression. In such an atmosphere, religious minorities, Zoroastrians, Sunnis, Christians, Jews, and Bahá'ís, in addition to Sufis and Dervishes, including the majority of Shiite believers who are opposed to the doctrine of Velayat-e-Faqih, are constantly harassed and repressed. With the slightest of objection or expression of criticism, these people are immediately arrested on trumped-up charges and tried without due representation before courts that have no legitimacy and make mockery of justice. Today, the international community is a closely knit and interconnected body. As such, international and regional peace and security is incumbent on the responsible cooperation that must exist between all its members. Hence, only through solidarity and meaningful cooperation at an international level can this critically sensitive situation that has forced itself upon us at this time be addressed in a way that is in line with universally acceptable notions such as peace, freedom, and democracy. For this reason, it is only natural that the United Nations and its relevant organs form a committee of international lawyers and experts to investigate the abuses taking place in Iran and the Middle East as a consequence of the intervention of religion into politics, thus paving the way for the passage of a resolution supporting the separation of state from religion. It follows that the passage of such a resolution would naturally lay the first stone for conducting a free referendum in Iran carried out under the supervision of international monitors so that the people of Iran can once again become masters of their own destiny. Hoping for a global solidarity for the resolution of the current crisis, and with my very best wishes for peace and freedom around the world, Sayyid Hossein Kazemeni Burujerdi, Evin Prison.